Hi everyone, my name's Jacob, and like a lot of you here today, I'm from London, more specifically Hounslow. Now, if you've lived here for as long as I have, i.e. your entire life, you'll know that not a lot of change happens from day to day. A snazzy new set of flats here, a nice new shop there, but nothing big, nothing substantial. I'm here today to tell you that a change has been and will continue to happen for a long time, but it's not a change you can see, it's a change you can hear. This is our city. And as you're about to see, it's one of the most linguistically diverse cities on the planet. This highly scientific map shows the hotspots for most of London's most commonly spoken languages, other than English. And it was collected from one of the most iconic features of our city, the London Underground, by gathering data about who got off where and what languages they were speaking. Now, once you've seen a map like this, a question springs to mind. How can learning only English in a city like this ever be enough? Now, from that question, another springs to mind. Which language do you learn? From the list of languages that just left the board about as quickly as they entered, I have a couple of recommendations based on how useful they'll be to you, and a bit from personal experience as a language learner. Firstly, we have Punjabi. It's the second most spoken language in Hounslow, and I'm sure that will be very relevant to a lot of you here. It's also spoken widely around the world, and it's not that difficult to pick up. On top of that, we have Bengali. This is the second most widely spoken language in London, so no matter where you go, you'll always be able to find a Bengali-speaking community. If, when you're picking up a language, you think about what use it will have to you in the job market, this one is quite useful, as there is currently a demand for English to Bengali and Bengali to English translators, though native speakers are normally picked for this job. Also, like the Scandinavian languages, Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian, it serves as a launchpad to learning other languages, although they're not as widely spoken. This one is particularly dear to my heart, as I live very close to a big Polish-speaking community. Similarly to Bengali, it's spoken all across London, so no matter where you go, you can find a community, but the communities are much bigger. It's also a highly relevant language for this day and age, with Russian, Ukrainian, Czech, and other languages such as that being quite similar. Also, unlike those languages, it uses the Latin alphabet, so there's no need to pick up another one. Before speaking about Polish, I mentioned two widely spoken languages that are spoken in London. I can't talk about widely spoken languages without mentioning this one. Mandarin Chinese is the most widely spoken language on the planet, with about 2 billion speakers worldwide. I'll just give you a minute to let that digest. Now, this means that no matter where you go on the planet, you'll always be able to find some use for this skill. Although it might be difficult to pick up, it has an amazing amount of uses because it looks great on a CV, and China is becoming more and more relevant in this day and age's economic atmosphere. Hinkley Point, anyone? Do I have any nuclear physicists in the room? Not yet, I guess. Now, I'm sure a lot of the students here have encountered French at some point in their school career, and although that might have put you off it somewhat, France is a beautiful country, and the language is more beautiful still. It's also great for anyone planning a trip around Europe, because it's not only spoken in France, but also in other European countries, Canada, and some parts of Africa. Now that I've rattled those features and languages off, another question comes up to mind. Why learn another language? As a language learner myself, I can't stress this enough. Every new language you learn opens new doors. You can make new friends, find new places to eat, navigate your way around cities. It's an amazing skill to have in this day and age. I just want to leave you on a quote from Nelson Mandela. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to a man in his language, that goes to his heart. This is highly relevant to anyone learning languages because it shows you the power of languages. Now, at the start of this talk, I mentioned that a change is taking place in London. It's not a change you can see, it's a change you can hear. If you want to become a part of that change, you're going to have to learn to hear it for yourself. Thank you.